Halloween is just a couple of days away, and so there is no better time to start talking about horror movies. And one of the main things that I think makes a great horror movie is its villains. Hello everybody, my name is Jesse, and welcome to my channel. Horror movies are almost known for their villains in some way. I mean, especially when you're looking at a lot of the earlier slashers from the 80s and 90s, a lot of them are iconic because of the titular killers. So today I'm going to give you my top 5 favorite horror movie villains. Starting at number 5, I have Ghostface from the Scream franchise. I've only seen a couple of the Scream movies. I think I've seen 1 and 2. I've been meaning to get to the others. But I really dig this villain Ghostface, who's kind of a prankster. He likes calling people over the phone as like a prank call thing. And just the whole idea surrounding the Scream franchise as kind of a whodunit thing. And in every movie, it is someone different. I've always been a big fan of murder mysteries, and I think that's a fun way to play your villain off. It's someone else every single time. You don't know who it could be, and it's just turns into a guess who game of who could the killer be, and you just gotta wait until the end to find out. At number 4, I have Pennywise the Clown from the It movies. I really enjoyed the first It movie. I was less fond of It Chapter 2, though it was still enjoyable. But easily the best part of both of those movies was Bill Skarsgård's performance as Pennywise the Clown. He can be scary, he can be kind of charming to try and lure in his victims. He can be almost accidentally funny at times. I mean, just the delivery of his lines can sometimes put a smile on your face. Just his performance is incredible, and he can be very frightening when he needs to be. The makeup and look of the character is all done fantastic, I think, and he really knows how to scare these kids and get on their nerves, and with that comes some gruesome and disturbing imagery sometimes, and it's just a very iconic performance that people still talk about. I think is one of his best performances. At number 3, I have the Xenomorphs from the Alien franchise. Whether you consider them a villain or and they are the primary antagonist of the entire franchise, and the other movies are more action, less horror, but the first one is definitely classified as a horror movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and I just love the idea that there's a single alien on board this ship that is coming after all of these passengers one by one. Ripley, throughout the entire franchise, the aliens constantly pose a big threat to Ripley, and they're a good challenge for her. She obviously kicks a ton of ass, taking them down. But I love the design and the look of them. And again, the aliens are a very iconic antagonist that people talk about all the time. When you mention horror movies, even if Alien isn't necessarily the first thing that comes to mind, you automatically know what the villains are or what the aliens are, what they look like, and just they're fantastic. Number 2, Hannibal Lecter. Speaking of iconic performances, this playing Hannibal Lecter won Anthony Hopkins the Oscar in Silence of the Lambs. I absolutely loved his performance. I have not been able to get it out of my mind since. I think I saw the movie for the first time earlier this year, and I absolutely loved Anthony Hopkins in this movie. Every line delivery, every facial expression he makes is just perfect. You see he's very intelligent, and just how cunning of a villain he is. He knows how to get the upper hand and how to trick people to get out of tight situations, and I just love him. I think it's one of Anthony Hopkins' best performances, and I think he definitely deserves the Oscar that year. And it's one that so many people talk about even still to this day. When you hear Silence of the Lambs, the first thing that comes to your mind is Anthony Hopkins sitting in that glass cage talking about eating someone's liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti. But of course, coming in number one, my favorite horror movie villain of all time, probably one of the most iconic, is Michael Myers from the Halloween franchise. Basically the quintessential horror movie villain, slasher, whatever you want to call him. He has always stayed true to what the character is supposed to be. He's never turned silly. He doesn't speak. He doesn't chase after his victims. He's slow. He's methodical. He's intelligent. He's always been a cold, silent killer. He has no motive. He kills simply because he enjoys it. And he throw on the iconic William Shatner mask and play that iconic Halloween theme, and it's bound to get everybody in the Halloween spirit. So Michael Myers is my favorite horror movie villain of all time. So there you go. Those are my top 5 favorite horror movie villains of all time. What are your picks for the best horror movie villains? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, like this video, subscribe to my channel, help me reach my goal of 350 subscribers, and keep watching movies.